So folks, I want to say good morning, good afternoon where you are, depending on where you're watching us from. I come to you live from the Ministry of Information, precisely in the Charles Beyond Press Hall right here. And today press conference is going to be presided over by the Honorable Minister of Information, Mr. Jerolinmek Piah. And let's move to the podium, the MC for this program, Assistant Minister for Assistant Minister of Information Services, Lawrence Family.
We like to wish you Merry Christmas and a happy prosperous New Year. I'd like to thank you for the beginning of the year to December. So we all assemble here, collecting the information from the government and providing it to the public. At this juncture, the man who speaks for the government, the head of this ministry, the chief administrator of the Ministry of Information, Public Affairs and Tourism, Honorable Jerolinmek Piah, will mount the national podium and speak to you on issue of national concern. Mr. Piah. So before Mr. Piah comes up, the Archbishop Dr. Matilda Gita is a counselor at the Liberian Synod and chairperson on the African Women for Jesus to all nations. They will be convening the Global Women National Prayer Walk, Tsunami 2026, at the SKD Sports Stadium. She will come and you hear from the houses mob as to how will it be looking like. Madam, the platform.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's a privilege. I need to mention some beautiful things I saw when I entered the compound of the Information Ministry. It was so beautiful. The receiving our guests was beautiful. Changes. We love to tell God, thank you for our Information Minister. Thank you, sir. There's a lot of beauty that have taken place, and we want to thank God that we will have more coming up, because as long as we think about development, we will have more. So we want to bless God for this beautiful time. Now, I came here with two of my partners for the kingdom of God here in Liberia, especially my technical advisor in origin, Pastor Doré Adao, is here. And then we have Mama Reese, she's our partner, and African Women for Jesus, Mama Reese, happy to have you. Now strictly to summarize what we hear, but let me begin with what we hear. Good morning to His Excellency, the President and Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and the First and Second Lady, to the Honorable Member of the National Legislature and the Judiciary, and all cabinet ministers, to our faith leaders and community champions, to the youth of this nation, and to every Liberian who call this land their home. I want to greet you in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. We are here because there is a need, and there is a cry, there is a call. God has spoken that we should pray for the three branches of government in the country, and other leaders, especially our generational leaders. He has good news for us. Liberia will face another beautiful challenge from God in a sweeter way for next year. And Liberia will be given mandate what expected of our three branches of government. Know that the three branches of government are the power and the engine of this great nation. And what they do, take the nation to the next step. And for God to change the narrative of the nation, He will use them to speak to them, to take the next step that is relevant to our country. So that's why it's very, very important to have them being led to take the mandate that God has given to them. So with the three branches of government, the youth, and then the country, we will be gathering December 30th at the Vamoma House, coming to the Capitol building, walking. And when you are walking, you are praying. The Lord always said, don't fight. You don't have to fight in this battle. You just need to walk, or you just set the prayer team. But the victory will definitely be given. So the prosperity aspect is knowledge to our leader. Then God divine protection over this land is whatever the devil planned for 2026, God will go ahead of us before we arrive. That's why the prayer will be done one day before the New Year. And we expect great things to happen. One of our expectations that our 3 branches of government will get the message from the 12 mothers that have been set aside, anointed to pray and make a declaration for the people of Liberia. And we expect our journalists to echo the message, because every Liberian organization and NGO, civil society, student, wherever you come from, bishop, archbishop, whichever nomenclature you find yourself, we all are invited to wear our white, hold your flag, and come and give this honor to Liberia. There's no other way to honor Liberia in the time and season. There's a privilege God has given us, and we all want to rise up. It's not controlled by anyone. It's controlled by Liberians, and the mandate is given for us to come out and pray for our 3 branches of government. So we will want you to please, in your home, to your offices, in the market, whoever you are, just announce to them, December 30th, 8 a.m. will be starting, not waiting. We'll be starting to march, to be at the Capitol building and fulfill an assignment. More will be said at the Capitol building. But for now, this is what I want to begin with, so that we can now conclude. And if there's any question, we believe we can get more on one. Children of God, there's no other perfect way to have peace in Liberia. The peace that we want to enjoy, the beauty that we want in Liberia, is to do it together and join to do it together. And as we agree to do it together, God will lead. So African Women for Jesus to all nations, all them. It's a movement for African women for building nation. We join to lead Liberia as a womb of Africa, and to rebrand the generational leader to fulfill the assignment God called us as a first African independent nation, to lead that prospect and get result out of it. And we want to introduce that to our people, so that we'll keep praying for the nation. Every year we expect a breakthrough and the soundness to come to our country. Ladies and gentlemen, we can make our country great. I believe in you, and I believe in everyone, including myself. And I believe in the minister, because he's a man of purpose, a man of vision. That's why we are here today, because the ministers are allowed us to come and bring the message to you. I believe God will be glorified, and God will take the honor. Thank you so much. God bless you.
So folks, that was the voice of Archbishop Dr. Mandela Chita, and she is the councillor at the Liberian Senate and the chairperson of the African Women for Jesus Christ to all nations.
Thank you, Archbishop. Glad that the country still got people standing in the gap, because there's nothing we can do on our own without God. We want to start this press conference on which we all of our people on behalf of the government. Merry Christmas. Since this is the final press conference before Christmas Day, we greet our people and pray that joy, hope, and peace from the one whose birth we are about to celebrate will rest all of us. Christmas is a good time for all of us to count our many, many blessings and to reflect on the events of the past year. We'd like to give thanks to God for keeping all of us, Liberians, alive, to see another holiday season. It is always so special to see our families and friends come home, which we are also having this time because of the Liberian diaspora homecoming. Because there is truly no place like home. Amidst everything that is happening around the world, and our own challenges as a nation, we can pause and give thanks to God for peace, security, friendliness that will continue to enjoy the country. As we celebrate with our friends and family, may we remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. So as we praise and give thanks to the Prince of Peace, let us be inspired by his example, keeping others in our mind in all that we do this season. May we make special efforts this Christmas to help and care for each other, whether it is someone who needs a warm meal, a visit, or a friend who has lost a loved one. Let's talk to and bless someone. Merry Christmas to all of our citizens on behalf of the government. As you are already aware, on Sunday, December the 21st, our President, Jerolinmek, received a telephone call for the President of the United States of America, His Excellency Donald J. Trump. The conversation focused on matters of mutual interest, including areas of regional peace and stability, and cooperation in key areas such as governance, economic development, and security. President Trump conveyed greetings to President Waka and the people of Liberia, acknowledging the long-standing historical relations between the two countries. President Waka welcomed the engagement and spoke to Liberia's priorities aimed at good governance, growth, and national development. Both leaders expressed optimism about continued dialogue and engagements between the United States of America and the Republic of Liberia. The call reflects ongoing interaction between the two countries as Liberia advances its national development agenda on the wheels and heels of Liberia's assumption of a seat at the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member. Yesterday, President Waka elected the Roberts International Airport Highway, Bentor City, Cruiserville, and surrounding towns. Yesterday's ceremony marked a significant national milestone in Liberia's effort to strengthen public safety ensure access to electricity and infrastructure renewal. While the event featured a symbolic turning on of streetlights, it represented a broader nationwide street lighting and electrification initiative being implemented by the Liberia Electricity Corporation. The initiative is designed to deliver visible, people-centered development that citizens can immediately see and experience. What was commissioned? And what is the current implementation status? ELWA Corridor Phase 1. Phase 1 of the ELWA Corridor Street Lighting Project, covering the stretch from ELWA Junction to the EBK Barrage, is approximately 95% complete and already delivering improved nighttime visibility and road safety. The remaining portion of Phase 1 from ELWA Hospital to Kingrade is currently on active implementation and is expected to be completed within the next 2 weeks. Community electrification. The electrification of Bentor and Cruiserville has been completed, extending reliable grid energy to hospitals, to schools, clinics, and businesses in those communities. Are there other street lighting in work? Yes. In parallel, street lighting installations are ongoing across other previously announced locations, including multiple avenues in Sinker, Pueblan Road, Somalia Drive to Raylight, the new bridge to Freeport, through Broadville, county capitals and regional centers where the grid is present, selected rural communities including the eastern region. Why should this matter to the citizens? These interventions deliver immediate and practical benefits, including improved road safety and nighttime visibility, enhanced public security, extended business and economic activities, better operating conditions for schools, clinics, and hospitals, restored confidence in public infrastructure. In simple terms, lit roads save lives, and electrified communities can grow economies. The initiative is fully aligned with the Arrest agenda and the National Energy Compact. It advances national priorities related to public safety and urban renewal, economic productivity, social inclusion, equitable infrastructure development across regions. The president, who is the head of the country, has a role. The commissioning ceremony was presided over by the president, who symbolically turned on the streetlights, thereby commissioning multiple electrification and street lighting interventions at once. Following the switch on, the President and party undertook a brief ceremonial drive-through, starting from Rock International and concluding at ELWA Junction, allowing him to personally witness the immediate impact of the newly illuminated corridor. This reinforced government leadership is restoring essential public infrastructure and delivering results that citizens can clearly see. The government acknowledges the collective efforts behind this achievement, including the Sector Ministry of Mines and Energy, the Board and Management of the LEC, the Office of the President, the Ministry of Public Works, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the PPCC, and the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission. Other collaborating ministries, agencies, and partners are also acknowledged. Special recognition is extended to the engineers, the technicians, land crews, and staff of LEC, whose dedication often under challenging conditions made these outcomes possible. And for you members of the media, the key takeaway could be the commissioning was national in scope and not limited to one location. Phase 1 of the ELWA corridor is near completion, with final works imminent, and other street letting works are ongoing across the nation. Yesterday's commissioning, which I will conclude with, shows that when the government focuses on delivery, progress becomes visible. Liberia is lighting up its roads, its communities, and its path forward. Also, the Managing Director of the LEC has unveiled plans to achieve 500 megawatts of domestic electricity by 2030, emphasizing energy sovereignty, grid modernization, rural electrification, smart metering, and partnership with independent power producers. Under his leadership, the LEC has embarked on an ambitious multi-pronged strategy to transform the national power sector. The central goal is to achieve energy sovereignty by developing 500 megawatts of domestic generation capacity by 2030, moving away from reliance on imported electricity. And the key elements of this strategy will include boosting domestic generation, modernizing the infrastructure, improving efficiency and accountability, ensuring affordability and sustainability, fostering regional integration. Sharif's result-driven leadership philosophy prioritizes local job creation, transparency, and maintenance planning to ensure sustainability. The overarching vision is to provide reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity to every Liberian and position Liberia as a potential hub for regional energy trade. At last press conference, we thought to address an issue that took place, or two separate issues that took place in two different schools. We had a report on one, and we had a gist on the other. And the one we had a gist on, we have a full report that we want to also announce. The Ministry of Education announces that following reports that emerged on December 12, 2025, the Office of the County Education Officer of Montserrat County School System conducted an investigation into allegations of corporal punishment and child abuse at the Berea Christian Academy of Excellence in the Sophie Community Center of Montserrat County. The investigation established that student Roselyn Matadi, a 10th grade student, along with at least 17 other students, was subjected to corporal punishment and physical abuse. The report further indicates that the alleged acts involved multiple school staff, including the school's registrar, the principal, and 2 other teachers. The ministry's initial decision. Based on the findings of the investigation, the Ministry of Education has taken the following initial actions without prejudice to further assessments and legal processes. Administrative sanction. The ministry will impose appropriate administrative sanction on the school, including a prescribed fine of $250,000 Liberian dollars for violating the regulation on child protection and corporal punishment. The school is hereby notified to make arrangements for compliance upon receipt of formal building instruction. The ministry has also suspended Mr. Jeremiah Soko, the registrar, Mr. Joseph Zize Jr., a teacher, Mr. Edwin McDonough, a teacher, and the principal, Ms. Julie Bowie, from all educational activities pending investigation led by the Ministry of Gender and Children Protection. The ministry has reiterated and is enforcing a national policy prohibiting corporal punishment in all schools in Liberia. The ministry will conduct a first-hand and comprehensive assessment of the school's facility, staff and administrative structure, and policies to determine compliance with minimum operational and safety standards. Where necessary, the ministry will consider the relocation of students to other recognized institutions to ensure continuity of learning in a safe and conducive environment. In recognition of the statutory mandate and interministerial coordination, the Ministry of Education has formally referred all child protection and welfare aspects of this matter to the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection in collaboration with the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Education retains responsibility for all education sector regulatory and compliance actions, including enforcement of education policies and regulations, administrative sanctions against schools, determination relating to school operation sanctions and possible closure, and ongoing monitoring and assessment for compliance. Following the reaffirmation of Liberia by the Millennium Challenge Corporation for a second MCC compact, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning is inviting qualified Liberians to apply for positions of National Coordinator under the Liberia Compact Development Office and a Senior Economist to support Liberia's compact development work with the Millennium Challenge Corporation. The National Coordinator under the Liberia Compact Development Office is a high-impact leadership role for someone with strong experience in senior management, public sector coordination, economic development, and stakeholders engagement. The National Coordinator will work closely with the government, development partners, civil society, and international donors to guide Liberia's compact development. Who should apply? Professional Liberians with 10 or more years of senior management experience, proven ability to manage large teams and multi-million-dollar programs, strong leadership, communication, and coordination skills, experience working with government, development partners, or donor-funded programs. The role of the senior economist is to support Liberia's compact development work with the Millennium Challenge Corporation, which is at the heart of national growth planning. That person will help analyze economic constraints, design high-impact projects, and ensure that public investment truly reduce poverty and improve lives. If you have strong experience in economic analysis, in project appraisal, in cost-benefit analysis, and policy work with development partners, this is your chance to make a national impact. Application day starts December 19, 2025. It closes January 9, 2026. And the official start date for work is February 1st, 2026. Interested candidates should submit a detailed cover letter and curricular video addressed to the NCC Recruitment Committee, Liberia, or email at mcc_recruitment@mfdp.gov.li. Only shortlisted candidates will be contacted. The government of Liberia and the United Nations have formally signed a new cooperation framework that will guide development assistance to the country from 2026 to 2030, reaffirming a strong partnership aimed at accelerating inclusive, resilient, and sustainable growth. The signing ceremony took place at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and brought together senior government officials, members of the UN country team, and development partners. Minister Augustine K. Kafwan of the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning described the partnership with the United Nations as one that has been tested and strengthened during recent difficult times. He noted that the new cooperation framework represents not only big numbers and big plans, but also a renewed emphasis on execution and results. The framework carries an estimated resource envelope of $883 million, some of which have already been secured with additional resources. The United Nations Resident Coordinator, Christine Omotoni, said the signing marked a major milestone in the UN-Liberia partnership as the previous cooperation framework comes to an end in 2025 and the new one takes effect in 2026. The framework reaffirms our shared vision of a peaceful, inclusive, and prosperous Liberia, where everyone, especially children, youth, women, and the most vulnerable, can realize their full potential. She emphasized that the framework is built on national ownership and mutual accountability, with the government of Liberia providing leadership in setting the priorities aligned with the country's agenda for inclusive development. Vision 2030, regional commitments such as Agenda 2063, and the Sustainable Development Goals. According to the UN Resident Coordinator, the cooperation framework is anchored on 3 key priority areas: human capital development, good governance and the rule of law, and economic sustainability, all aimed at improving social services, strengthening institutions and promoting inclusive, climate-resilient growth. She added that the framework introduces flagship programs aimed at accelerating results, including education and skills for jobs, empowering of adolescent girls, digital governance solution, and climate-smart agriculture, and reliant food systems. To oversee implementation, a high-level steering committee co-chaired by the Minister of Finance and the UN Resident Coordinator will provide strategic guidance supported by a technical working group. The government of Liberia and the UN acknowledge that the global development landscape is becoming more challenging, with traditional aid declining. As a result, the framework places strong emphasis on innovation, innovative financing, domestic resource mobilization, and strengthened partnerships to sustain development efforts. Both the government of Liberia and the United Nations pledged to work closely with civil society, local authorities, the private sector, the media, the community to ensure that the framework delivers tangible improvements in the lives of Liberians. As we sign this cooperation framework today, Ms. Omotoni said, the United Nations firmly commits to walking this journey with Liberia, and together we will turn this vision into reality. The new cooperation framework will run from 2026 to 2030, positioning Liberia and the UN to deepen collaboration and accelerate progress towards national development goals. The Liberian National Police maintains strong presence ahead of Christmas. We talked the other day, and we still talking, so you know that they are out there. The LP announced that it is sustaining a robust and visible presence in Monrovia and surrounding areas in preparation for Christmas. It is a proactive posture that underscores the LP's commitment to public safety, to order, and the well-being of all citizens, residents, and visitors during this season. They request the public to be vigilant and report suspicious activities to the LNP through official channels, to adhere to traffic regulation and follow all directions from law enforcement. The LNP remains dedicated to upholding the law, protecting lives and property, ensuring secure environment for all during this Christmas season. The LNP recognizes the importance of a peaceful and joyful holiday and reassures the general public that its personnel will continue to operate with professionalism, integrity, and respect for all. Both houses of the national legislature have adjourned for their third constituency break of the national legislature. It follows the Senate's concurrence with the House of Representatives to pass the historic 2026 national budget valued at approximately $1.2 billion, the country's first budget at that scale. The passage came after days of hearings with government agencies on expenditures. President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, Senator Jerolinmek Lawrence, stated that the budget prioritizes education, health, agriculture, infrastructure, security, and county capitals. She thanked the senators for their cooperation and hard work throughout the year, encouraging them to remain focused as elders for the common good of the land. She thanked and acknowledged the Senate staff in the media for their professional efforts. As per constitutional rule, the legislature is now on recess and is scheduled to return on the second working Monday in January of 2026. We want to give some initial information on the Liberia EU Business Forum, which the embassy in Brussels have been working on. It is scheduled to take place on the 24th and 25th of February 2026 in Brussels. But what is the forum? The Liberia EU Business Forum 2026 provides a premium platform for fostering EU-Liberia trade and investment partnership, bringing together businesses, government officials, and investors for meaningful engagement. Through the business-to-business and business-to-government dialogue, investment showcases, and high-level networking, participants can identify opportunities, forge strategic partnership, and access market insights. The forum highlights Liberia as a prime destination for sustainable and inclusive investment, aligning with the ENRES agenda, the EPAs, and the EU Global Gateway Strategy. By combining strategic discussion with actionable deal-making, the event enables tangible economic collaboration that advances both Liberia development goals and the EU-Africa economic tie. The forum will emphasize Liberia investment real estate sector through the ACTS framework. What are the specific objectives of the forum? To mobilize foreign direct investment, facilitate and secure investment commitment from European private and public investors in key sectors prioritized on the ENRES agenda. To promote policy and regulatory dialogue, encourage dialogue between Liberian authorities, European investors, and institutions to identify and address regulatory bottlenecks and improve the overall investment climate. To foster private sector linkages, build partnership between European companies and Liberian SMEs through structured business-to-business engagement, market access discussions, and technical cooperation. To enhance visibility of Liberia's investment opportunity, position Liberia as a competitive and attractive destination for investment in West Africa by showcasing its strategic location, natural resources, youthful labor force, and investment opportunities through pipeline projects. To leverage regional and continental trade frameworks, promote Liberia's integration into the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme in the African continental free trade area, highlighting it as a strategic gateway to over 1.3 billion customers across Africa. To align with EU-Africa strategic priorities, ensure that Liberia investment promotion aligns with the EU Global Gateway Strategy. The expected outcomes of the Global Gateway Strategy: enhance awareness on trade and investment opportunities in strengthening Liberia-EU related cooperation. And the expected outcomes include engagement with leading international investors, business owners, financial institutions, and Liberian government leaders, one-on-one interaction with potential investors, finalization of business partnership agreement with business-to-business arrangement, and MOUs between Liberia Chamber of Commerce and the joint Liberia-EU task force established to monitor